All right, welcome back, geometry students, to another episode of our Unit 2 study guide. This is the final video, problem number 6. All right, so we're going to go ahead and write a proof that uses rigid motions that will take figure ABC onto figure XYZ. Now it says use your template. What template am I talking about? I'm talking about this template right here where it says transformations, and it gives us these sentence frames that use transformations, justifications, and then the concluding statement. Now, if you do not have this statement, these template, go ahead, raise your hand if you're in class and I'll give you one. But if you're happen to watch these videos away from my class, I highly suggest you take a picture of this, put your phone next to you. If you're not in my class, if you are in my class, I will be collecting phones, so make sure you do not have your phone out, please. But take a picture, have it on your phone available to you, and make sure you follow along with the sentences that I am choosing, okay? So, without further ado, let's get started with our proof. Okay, so first of all, I see that AB is congruent to XY, BC is congruent to YZ. I want to make sure I get every single point aligned, right? So my first choice would be aligning B with Y. So if I look at my template, the way that I can align it is with a translation. So I'm going to go ahead and say translate ABC from point B to point Y. Okay? So that's going to be my first sentence. So this is part of my proof. Translate ABC from point B, whoops, capital B, to point Y. Okay? So now B has been translated onto Y. So now I have this image over on this side. Okay? Let's see if I can make that happen. So there's this image here. Let's see, I haven't done this in a while. Let's see if that works. Ooh, okay, I'll make it smaller. That is like about the right size. So now, technically, this is overlapping here. That's a bad image. Okay, so I couldn't get it done, but you get the image, right? All right, let me get rid of that one right now. All right, so that was my first step. Translate ABC from point B to point Y. Okay. Now all I could do just to finish this off quickly is rotate using point Y as our center so that points A and C overlap, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and use my sample. So I'm gonna go ahead and say rotate ABC using Y as the center so that A coincides with C. Don't worry, I'll clean it up, okay? So it says, give me 1 second, technical difficulties. There we go. Rotate ABC using, using point Y as a center, comma, so that AB coincides with XY. By the way, those are segments. And BC coincides with YZ. So we're gonna go ahead and rotate ABC. ABC is over here on this side. We're gonna rotate ABC so that AB coincides with XY and BC coincides with YZ. Okay. So next up, I'm gonna write my justification statement. My justification statement is gonna be the top one. Okay. So this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and say, we know ABC is congruent to XYZ because rigid motions preserve measure. What do I mean by rigid motion? So that means anything that is translated, reflected, or rotated will keep the same measurements, will keep the same angles. So that's what I mean by preserves measure, right? That rigid motions preserve measure. All right, so now for our concluding statement, I can go ahead and say A goes to B, I'm sorry, A goes to X, B goes to C, no, B goes to Y, my apologies. B goes to Y, and C goes to Z. So ABC is congruent to XYZ. Ta-da! And there is our proof. Make sure you write down our proof. This proof will definitely be helpful on our test because hint, hint, nudge, nudge, squint, squint, or wink, wink. You will need to write a proof that uses our template. So make sure that you are using the template to write out proofs, okay? Now, if you have any questions, let me know. I will be in class helping you out, or if you're not in class, go ahead and drop a comment with a question. I'll be sure to go ahead and answer that question. As far as these definition words, I am going to go ahead and answer those in class, okay? So make sure that you are following along, please. All right, see you in the next round of videos. Later.